What if you could make the most of your financial situation so that you can pay your home loan off faster? What if you could save thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on your home loan? What if you could also set yourself up in life so that you can really start to build wealth? This is Pay It in 5. I'm Dr. Linda Hamilton. We paid our home loan off in 5 years. I wrote Pay It in 5 to share how you can pay your home loan off faster and make money work for you. Pay It in 5. How to pay your home loan off in 5 to 10 years. Written and read aloud by Linda Hamilton. Chapter 27. Buyer beware. 3 key points before you visit the lender. Point number 1. Find out how much they will lend you. Up to this point, I've harped on about how you need to decide what your own maximum home loan is. By now, you should know what that is, or at the very least, you have everything you need to work that out. So, why am I asking you to find out what the lender will give you? When we purchased, we could borrow 80% of the value of the property. We knew what we could afford, so we searched within our means and within our budget. Because we saved enough to borrow a smaller amount, let's say 70%. It wasn't exactly 70%, but this makes for an easier example. We still borrowed the full 80%, but then immediately paid that down to that 70%. On paper, we borrowed more money, but as soon as it arrived, we paid it down so that we were really borrowing only that 70%. And we put that extra amount into an offset account. I'll talk about that soon in step 4. For example, let's say our property was valued at $350,000 and our lender was willing to lend us up to 80% of the property value. This meant we could borrow $280,000. However, our own maximum loan amount was $250,000, a difference of $30,000. So rather than saying, oh no, we want to borrow $250,000, we actually said, great, give us $280,000. And on the very first day that we took out the home loan, we put that extra $30,000 into the offset account and paid the home loan down to $250,000. So our home loan was actually $250,000 on the day we started the loan. Why did we do that? If you borrow more money than you need and you immediately put that money back, don't lie to yourself and take out the bigger loan. You need to know your maximum loan amount and pay it down straight away. Then you have money aside just in case you need it. For example, if this is your first home and you know you want to buy a bigger property or one closer to or in your ideal location later, and you pay your home loan off quickly, you will have slightly more money to be able to use it as a deposit when you choose to buy a bigger home. The aim is to have more cash available to you when you have finished paying off your home loan. Whatever you borrow, you need to be able to pay it down to your own maximum loan amount on the first day of your loan. If you don't, you won't be able to pay your home loan off as fast as you were planning. Point number 2. Never sign the contract that day. After you have shopped around and discussed your home loan with your preferred lender, take home their offer and go over the information again. Do your own calculations. Make sure you have a good understanding of the loan product and you are satisfied with the features. You are going to be stuck with them for some time after all. Some things to take note of are: what is the current interest rate? Is there a honeymoon period, and if so, how long? Are there any credit cards you have to take out to get the loan? Is it an interest-only home loan for a period of time, or can you pay interest and principal? What are the fees? What are the fees for taking out the home loan? What are the fees if you close the account early? What are the ongoing fees if there are any? What are the fees for redraw? What other fees are there? What is the total interest you will pay if you take out the home loan over 30 years? What is the total interest you will pay if you take out the home loan for less than 30 years? And how much are your monthly or weekly, fortnightly repayments? Give yourself some additional time before you sign the contract to go through the contract again. This can help you to raise additional questions, to calculate and recalculate possible scenarios, and to compare each option again fully. Point number 3. Know what evidence you need to provide to get approval on your home loan. And watch out for the casual wage. When we shopped around for a home loan, we went to a range of different lenders who were willing to lend us money. We received our conditional approval and went ahead choosing a home. When we did eventually find a property, we went back to our lender to provide all our documentation. Up until this point, lenders ask you about all your sources of income, of which we had my husband's full-time wage and my casual wage. They plug this into the computer and give you the amount you can borrow. Usually, if you have an extra wage, like a casual wage, together with a full-time wage, this means on paper, you can usually borrow more. If you have a casual wage, like I did, this doesn't seem to be an issue. That is, until you actually have to take out a home loan. A casual wage being a casual wage means that I got paid sporadically. I would get paid 1 week, miss out on being paid for the next 3 weeks, be paid for the 3 weeks after that, and then nothing again for 6 weeks. My pay was all over the place. Because the lender had always calculated my wage based on my yearly income, this didn't seem like an issue. However, when it actually came to buying, our lender asked for 2 consecutive fortnightly pay slips. When it came to getting a home loan, I didn't have 2 consecutive pay slips in a row. I didn't have 2 pay slips at that point in time where I had been paid one straight after the other. I gave them 2 of my latest pay slips, one within the last 2 weeks and one from a month prior. But this was a problem. We couldn't use my pay slips. We couldn't use them at all. I said to our lender, well, you know I'm a casual. That's how we get paid. Our lender knew I was a casual from the start. I had 2 pay slips, but I didn't have 2 current consecutive pay slips. The lender wasn't happy. I wasn't happy because we were lured into a false sense of security that we could borrow more money when we couldn't. Because I was also a casual on 6 monthly contracts, even though I had been employed with the same organisation for about 10 years, I then went through a process of having to get my managers to sign a letter saying that they would keep me employed. This was also embarrassing. In the end, we took my casual wage out of the home loan application because of the issue with the 2 consecutive pay slips and just borrowed money based on my husband's full-time wage. This, thankfully, was able to cover us for about 80% of the property value, which we paid down immediately to our maximum loan amount. We were just lucky that we weren't purchasing a more expensive property, like we thought we could. We had set our own limits on what we wanted to spend, and therefore we were keeping our home loan amount low. This was fortunate for us, as we wouldn't have been able to purchase a more expensive property anyway. We purchased within our means, and thus could get the money we needed to buy the property. If we had found a higher priced property on our conditional approval and then purchased that, we wouldn't have received the loan and we would have lost our deposit. If you have a casual wage, be cautious about including it as an income when you speak to lenders. Unless you can present 2 consecutive pay slips at any time that you can produce on notice, then it may be worth the hassle. Opt for a smaller home loan that is more manageable to pay off and easier to approve past the conditional approval. Since purchasing, I have inquired again about casual wages and have been told that some lenders do provide approval for casual wages based on the annual amount. But when I dig down about the evidence you need to provide, it's still the same story. 2 consecutive current payslips. Sometimes even 3. If this applies to you, check with your lender. The same might also apply for people who have their own businesses or are contractors. Whatever your situation, be specific about knowing which evidence you have to provide and ask what alternative evidence is required if it can't be met. Make sure you know what evidence you need to provide when it comes to actually applying for a home loan. In the next chapter, we'll put it all together as you prepare to buy. If you'd like help to plan your home loan and how you can make it work for you, head to payidin5.com/coaching to book a time to chat with me or the team. In life, you get what you spend your time doing. You've just spent your time learning how to pay your home loan off faster. Head to payidin5.com to book your session and make money work for you.